We're live.
All right, look at that. We are joined by resident rock star who's not quite as local as I am in Chicago, joining us from Tokyo. I'm also joined by Sarah Sadat on that side of the screen, who's always helping us out. Sarah, I know you had a request for Mike here.
Well, Mike, you know what a huge fan I am of yours when you're on stage. But I think the past couple of days, I've been a even bigger fan of the bear. So for me and the rest of the people out there watching, show me the bear.
All right, where's the little bear? The little bear is in Tokyo, so here he is. He's been a great travel companion of mine for about 5 years now, and yeah, he's the inspiration, and for a lot of people, and it's for a great cause. If many of you guys don't know why I carry him around and put him on a lot of my pictures. He raises awareness for babies that are born premature and the struggles their parents go through to really provide them a good quality of life and help them grow as they get older. A lot of them do survive, but they have a lot of problems. It's personal for me. My nephew, Luke Cunningham, was born almost 3 months premature. And, Luke is 21 years old now, and he's such a smart and loving kid. And, he was born deaf, but he does have cochlear implants. So he's led a pretty normal life. And that's a big kudos to my sister, Julie McGovern, who really has done an amazing job of raising Luke. So I was approached to carry the bear along my journeys by Beth Macklin, who runs the Little Bear Foundation. And, through a mutual friend, I was introduced to her, and she asked me to bring him along. And it was a great idea because, instead of putting my ugly face in a lot of these pictures, I could use the bear and, and provide some insight to what I do on my travels.
So if anybody wanted to follow more about the bear or contribute towards the bear, if you could just give me a 2 seconds of how to get to that, and then we'll get to Mike McGovern, the man in Tokyo.
Okay, yeah. So the Little Bear Foundation, you can follow them on Facebook, and on Instagram, it's @littlebear.org. So, and you can read all about it and follow them, and if reach out to Beth Macklin too. She could give you a bear, and you could take him around wherever you go and take pictures yourself.
Raza, you know what I'm doing next, don't you, baby? He just got disconnected. Raza's at work right now, so we're gonna wing this, McGovern, you and I. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing there while you were in Tokyo. What takes you all the way across the waters?
Okay, well, I have a great job. I work for WMAQ NBC in Chicago, and they've been really, giving me a lot of opportunities in my career, and this is one of many. So I was asked to come here to Tokyo to provide some local coverage, specifically Chicago tie-ins and Chicago area tie-ins to the Olympics. So we come here, we interview our local athletes, we try to go to their events and get them afterwards with reaction to how they did and how they got here, their journey here. I mean, it's been incredible stories. I love telling them, making those connections with the athletes and their families, and this is just another great opportunity for me.
So this is not your first rodeo, right? So you have been to at least Rio that I know of, and possibly one more before that. Can you tell me a little bit about what your experience here is and the camaraderie between the rest of the camera people that are in front of the camera as well as behind the camera? Because this is so different. I see you with a mask on. I don't see your shiny face anymore.
Yeah, sure. This is my 4th Olympics. I did London in 2012. I did Rio in 2016, Pyeongchang in 2018, and now here in Tokyo 2020 here in 2021. Yeah, I'm wearing a mask because obviously Japan is still under a state of emergency. Our workspace requires it. We have to wear a mask all day long in public places, except for when we're eating and drinking. And, it's really a mitigation put in place to keep everybody safe And it's been hard, talking and working in a mask all day. But I'm not a surgeon. It looks like I am, but we're doing our part here as an NBC family to really, follow the restrictions in place, and like I said, try to do our part and keep everybody safe.
So everybody is pretty much observing the social distancing, kind of staying within your team, putting the mask on. Definitely kind of adds to some of the day-to-day challenges that you guys have been facing here compared to the other times. One of the things that I really enjoyed on the coverage now is just hearing crystal clear, like during the team huddles and like all the conversations between the athletes as they're going through. What are some of the pros and cons of actually being operated in an environment like this?
Well, some of the, as I mentioned, it's just, it can be stressful at times. We want to provide some good coverage. They're long hours. I'm working. There's a lot of limitations, especially this games. These games are a lot different than the games in years past I've covered. We can't go to every event. There's restrictions. They can only allow certain people in at a time. And, as much as you get that, it's still kind of hard because, then we still have to put, product on the air. So we've been doing a lot of Zooms with athletes and their families, putting together stories still. They're different stories. I mean, they still have the same message, different in terms of how I'm gathering it.
Yeah.
But it's always a challenge. That's one of the things I like about my job, and this is no different. I mean, it could be one of the biggest challenges of my career, but I'm still happy to be here, and I'm still excited to tell these stories.
Well, on behalf of everyone watching, I'm so grateful for everything that you do and kind of bringing the show to us. Go ahead, Raza. You had a question.
Mike, one of the pictures that I really loved that you posted was the NBC family, all the people you were covering this alongside of.
Oh, yeah.
One from the owned and operated groups, maybe from network. Can you just kind of talk about that and the camaraderie that you develop with these people who you maybe see once every couple of years when there are these Olympics, and just how you guys relate, generally speaking, and in a situation like this, in a COVID Olympic setting?
Yeah, sure. There's so many people that I've got to meet over these Olympics that I've done, and you're right. It is about camaraderie, and we all work together as a team. So, say someone, the crew from New York, if they bump into someone in Chicago along their travels, they'll go and interview them for us and let us know. Obviously, if we're at another spot, we'll do the same for them. And then, working together as a group, it's one big group, and we're all friends. We all make friends with each other quickly because we have to, especially in a foreign land where they don't speak English, as they don't here in Tokyo. It's been a challenge with the language barrier. Thank goodness for the Google Translate app, because the app's been really helping us out. But yeah, it's a great sense of family, and honestly, it is probably the one thing one reason why I love doing these games. You get to see how other stations operate, other people operate, all very, very talented, and you learn from them. And I've learned so much. I mean, I would not be where I'm at in my career if I didn't have this opportunity to witness it.
You have been traveling every day since you got there. You've been doing something. We were lucky enough to get you a couple of minutes when you had a little bit of time to get with us.
Yep.
I just finished my shift for the 10 o'clock news. I know typically you do live shots for the 10 o'clock news. You do live shots for various things throughout the day. Walk us through a typical day for you and what it entails. And I know you got to jump off because you're working, but just as much time as you can, quickly telling us about that.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Say that again, Raza. You kind of broke up.
Sure. I was just saying, walk us through a typical day that you have. I know you do stuff for the 10 o'clock news. It should maybe be appearing soon. You follow local athletes. Just tell us who dispatches you, what do you do, how much of your stories are enterprise stories, and walk us through a typical day, if there is such a thing as a typical.
Well, I mean, they have us right now doing live reports for our 10 o'clock news, which is noon here. in the future. And then we also do hits for the morning show starting at 6 a.m., sometimes 6:30, and that's at 8 o'clock at night, 8:30. So they're long days. Right when we get in, we start putting together our 10 o'clock story that sometimes, because we're so far in the future, we work on in advance. So we'll chip away at it the previous night before, come in the morning here, and then put that together and, try to hopefully make a good product. And like we just had Ryan Murphy, who is our local swimmer, just got bronze. So we were waiting to watch that and to, form a story around that. We were anticipating he was going to win gold. He won bronze. Still not bad. Ryan Murphy's family's great. We've interviewed him in the past. Regina Waldrop is at their watch party right now, getting reaction from them. So, and that changes. So it depends on what event's coming up, who our local athlete is. We try to reach out to them. We try to put in a request to go to the stadium where they're at, depending on how far it is and logistically, and if we get allowed access. Now, these games are different than years past because of COVID. Very strict restrictions. We got to put in 3 days in advance to maybe get access. So that's been a challenge, not going to lie. But we were in Nigeria versus Australia men's basketball the other day. We got a story about that coming up for our morning show at 6 a.m. So tune into that. It's going to be a good one. I'm not going to tell you why. You're going to have to watch for yourself. So
Because you don't know yet.
Yes, correct. But with that, I got to go. I got to hop off and do our 10 o'clock. You guys, thanks a lot for having me on. And, follow this little guy around. I don't know where he's going to go next. But we're going to go somewhere. I'll tell you that. So
everyone is saying great job. Thank you so much. And all of the links to the Little Bear Foundation will be added to this feed. Thanks so much, Mike.
And we'll watch your product at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us, Mike. We'll let you go. Sarah, why don't you and I stay on, let him do his thing real quick. Thanks, Mike. So, that's just, Sarah, that's obviously incredible that he's able to make a little bit of time for us, talk about what it is he's doing. He's obviously under a huge time constraint doing this, but he's able to not only do that, but give an organization like the Little Bear really the kind of the recognition that they deserve for the great work they're doing.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people like myself who have never heard of this organization, can relate to this because a lot of us actually know somebody or somebody who has gone through the same plight of seeing their baby in the hospital for months on end and not being able to take them home right after delivery. So there's a lot of differences that, he's bringing to light, he's shedding to light here. And any contributions towards a worthy cause like this is amazing. Not only do we have one rock star on camera, now we got two rock stars. So yeah, I don't know, Mike, you made my night.
He's not talking about me either with him. But yeah,
you're just a husband.
that Little Bear and the journey he's on and the guy who takes him on the journey, incredible. Just a great guy and standing for a great cause. We're so happy that he was able to join us. And Sarah, for the professional videographer, I ran out of battery. So thank you for keeping this thing going while I was temporarily off.
Hey, you know what? I really appreciate you actually getting this set up for me and giving me an opportunity to see my little bear. I appreciate it. Thanks, Raza.
All right. It was signing off. Thank you for joining us, Media Central workers. I'm Raza Siddiqui. This is Sarah Sadat. We're on with Mike McGovern and the Little Bear. More stories coming from the Olympics as we continue with this. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll bring you more stories soon. This is Raza signing off.
Bye.